This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
Thanks for joining us here at 11 o'clock tonight. I'm Mark Mullins.
And I'm Amanda Starantino. Indianapolis and Marion County will start shifting to phase 2 of Indiana's reopening plans, but the transition will be a slow one.
Officials outlined a timeline today that's frustrating some business owners. Beginning Friday, public gatherings and religious services can include up to 25 people. Liquor stores and non-essential retailers and malls that qualify can reopen, but at 50% capacity. Then on May 22nd, restaurants can open for in-person dining for outdoor seating only while adhering to social distancing. Indoor seating at 50% capacity will be allowed June 1st at the earliest. Mayor Hogsett has this message for residents and business owners.
And I wish I could sit here and say that we can guarantee a consistent decline in rates of infection over the coming weeks. Unfortunately, that is something I cannot do. Until there's a vaccine, we cannot completely stop the spread of COVID-19.
And new at 11, team coverage of the way some business owners feel about Marion County's plan. We start with RTV6's Cornelius Hawker, checking in with a restaurant owner who reached out to us to share her frustration.
Mina Hawkins is not happy with the mayor's plan to let restaurants open on May 22nd, but only with outside seating.
I don't have any outside seating.
This idea will more than likely work out fine for restaurants that already have tables and chairs outside, but Mina has limited space to work with at her restaurant, Weeble's Bar and Grill, on the northeast side of Indy. Outside dining was never in her business plan.
Is they gonna give me money to buy a table and chair to serving outside?
For 40 years, Mina has run a business in this spot. She's hoping the city offers some sort of help to people like her.
I've been paying $8,000 a year property tax. Do you gonna cover my property tax and my utility bill?
Not knowing if Weebles was open, these customers almost left, but Mina's adjusting the best she can and offering carryout service. However, she doesn't think it's going to work, considering so many counties around Marion will have restaurants open and ready for customers.
It only takes 15 minutes to go to other county to eat and drink, come back in this county. So this is my opinion, is a lot of BS, Mayor.
Mina also told me she understands wanting to try and stop the spread of coronavirus, but she doesn't think these continued restrictions are going to do any good if people choose to go outside of the county to eat, shop, and drink, and then potentially bring the virus back here. Working for you, Cornelius Hawker, RTV6.
And the mayor did announce the city is working on ways to partner with restaurants to help them increase outdoor seating and allow for physical distancing between their customers. Owners can provide feedback on the kind of help they need at the city's website. We have a link at theindychannel.com.
Businesses that will not be included in Marion County's phase 2 reopening, non-essential manufacturing, and salons and barbershops. Our team coverage continues tonight with RTV6's Cameron Riddle checking in on a West Side barber who hasn't seen a customer in months.
It's been a frustrating day for Indianapolis barber Brian Lomax. He's among the Marion County barbers and beauticians who thought they would be able to reopen their doors to customers this Friday. But after an announcement by Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett, that day won't come until June at the earliest.
I was totally shocked because of the inconsistency. We were first told April the 20th. Then we were told May 1st. Then we were told May 11th. Then we were told May 15th. And then today when we got the news that we couldn't open until June 1st, it was a total shock. It was a huge disappointment.
Lomax's West Side Barbershop hasn't seen a customer since the first stay-at-home orders were issued in March. He says during the downtime, he's been ordering personal protection supplies and more disinfectants for the reopening he planned for this week.
Some of us spend money to make sure that we were prepared for this, and then now we have to wait another 2 weeks, and so that's kind of a burden on our pockets.
Lomax is not only the shop's master barber, he's a small business owner who's been paying for a shop he can't use. The federal government has rejected his small business loan request, and Indiana's unemployment program has yet to tell him if any benefits will come his way. Lomax says it's a common situation for gig workers who he believes are very essential.
We are essential workers. You got certain people that work jobs that require that they look a certain way. Some restaurants don't allow men to wear facial hair. So we're definitely important.
Lomax says customers should feel safe in the barbershop when the doors eventually reopen, thanks to a number of sprays and disinfectants barbers are already required to use. He says keeping his clients safe and healthy is part of his duty as a licensed barber, and is disappointed city leaders aren't trusting him to do just that.
This is my only job. This is what I do. This is what I love to do. That's what makes it even more frustrating. To be told not to go to work is one thing, but to be told not to do what it is that you're passionate about makes it even more frustrating.
On the west side, Cameron Riddle, RTV6.
Well, Lomax says he is still considering applying for a rapid response loan offered at the local level. Today, Mayor Hogsett also announced a program that will reimburse businesses for money spent on personal protective equipment up to $5,000.
And Indiana is not one of the growing number of states that have reported a rare inflammatory condition seen in kids, possibly linked to COVID-19. ABC's Stephanie Ramos shows you how families across the country are learning about this dangerous complication.
Tonight, the CDC is preparing a national alert for doctors to be on the lookout for that inflammatory syndrome in children, possibly linked to COVID-19. Concern now growing. 16 states are reporting cases. Just days ago, 14-year-old Leah was rushed to the Randall Children's Hospital in Portland, Oregon.
It was super weird pain that I was having. Like, it wasn't normal. It was like my stomach was hurting. I was like really hot.
The healthy soccer player coming down with fever, abdominal pain, and red eyes. All symptoms her pediatrician spotted as signs of that rare mystery illness.
Her primary care doctor actually had heard and knew of this syndrome and called the paramedics and sent her over to the emergency department really quickly.
Leah was close to cardiac failure, almost in shock, but was treated for severe inflammation doctors suspect was triggered by an earlier infection with coronavirus.
I'm very grateful because I could have been gone. I'm glad I got help right away.
In New York City, cases jumping from 52 to 82 overnight. For 14-year-old Jack McMorrow, it started with a fever, stomach illness, and a rash. His doctor suspecting that inflammatory syndrome.
I had a swollen lymph node on my right side, and I got a headache, and it just started going downhill from there.
Rushed to the hospital, Jack's heart and organs were failing. After testing negative for the virus, his mother insisting they check again. That second test confirming Jack was fighting COVID-19.
What message do you have for parents right now?
They're their children's best advocate, and they need, if they suspect something wrong, pursue it. If it wasn't for his mother pursuing it as hard as she did, I don't think my son would be here.
And that was Stephanie Ramos reporting. The CDC will ask doctors across the country to report cases of this syndrome to state health departments so they can determine how common it is and learn more about COVID-19's impact on children.
Indiana's testing numbers continue to rise. There are now more than 170 testing sites around the state. A new one opened today at Grand Park in Westfield. Officials recommended testing for anyone who is high risk, showing symptoms, part of a minority population, or if you live with someone who has symptoms. But State Health Commissioner Dr. Christina Bach says she's cautious about recommending testing for everyone regardless of symptoms because it could lead to a false sense of security.
It is a snapshot in time, and just because you get tested and you're negative today does not mean that 6 hours, 8 hours, or 24 hours from now that you may be positive. And I fear a little bit that result that will bring out in you that, oh, hey, I'm negative, I'm good until what? Next week or 2 days from now, whenever you get retested.
Testing is free for all Hoosiers at state-sponsored testing sites. Still ahead on the news at 11, a local soap company is hoping to clean up on Shark Tank this week. A look at what makes this business so unique when it comes to paying employees and charging customers.
But first, thousands of dollars in limbo because of canceled flights. A new push could make cash refunds mandatory for airlines.
And it is finally going to warm up tomorrow, but it could also turn a little stormy. We'll talk about when some of those storms could be severe. You're watching RTV6 News at 11.
See dealership for details.
This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
The Rebound Indiana is our commitment to you, to getting you and your family resources that you need to cope with the wide-ranging impacts of the coronavirus pandemic.
And that includes lost income, lost jobs, and maintaining your mental health while adapting to the new normal. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and a group called Dead the Silence is working to provide simple mental health tips and reminders that anyone can use. The tips are posted daily on social media, things like writing down affirmations, setting goals, and even participating in a dance trend.
Do not allow the outer world to affect your inner peace. And in order to do that, you have to build yourself up internally, mentally, spiritually, physically.
To do that, Dead the Silence also recommends taking time to unplug, even if that means tuning out the news for a while.
I've experienced a lot of teachers just feeling like they aren't doing enough.
Teachers and students are nearing the end of an unprecedented school year with a lot of unanswered questions about what next year will look like. Washington Township learning coach Madeline Mason is providing mental health tools for teachers in the form of videos that help with mindfulness and coping skills.
Have compassion for yourself and give yourself grace so that you can then extend that to our students who are struggling with the same things.
Anyone can access these tools and videos. They are all on Madeline Mason's YouTube channel. You can find that by simply searching her name on YouTube. You can find links to all of our Rebound Indiana resources at theindychannel.com/rebound. So that includes steps to apply for financial help if you might run into trouble paying your utility bills. Right now, there's a moratorium on utility shutoffs, but that order will expire on June 4th unless the governor extends it. Again, that's theindychannel.com/rebound for ways to get help.
And while people are struggling to make ends meet, the Rebound Indiana is holding companies accountable when it comes to your money. Calls are intensifying for airlines to issue cash refunds for canceled flights. Today, Consumer Reports, the U.S. Public Interest Research Group, and several senators introduced legislation to make refunds mandatory. That was after more than 250,000 people signed petitions. These advocacy groups have been hearing from thousands of Americans who can't get their money back.
The airlines are arguing that, one, they don't have to, and two, they themselves are low on cash. They got $50 billion from the federal government. But no one's flying right now. They don't have money coming in. So we can see their argument, but at the same time, people's hard-earned money that they need should not be the thing that's holding up the airlines right now.
The Department of Transportation put out new guidance on airline ticket refunds after being flooded with more than 25,000 complaints in a few months. But guidance stops short of requiring refunds.
Legally, all they're required to do is focus on those instances where the airline cancels, which makes sense in a normal situation. If you choose to change your flight, then you should abide by those rules. But we're in a different time.
I feel like if they're able to get this support, there's not really a reason for them to hold on to all of our money.
And like many Americans, Paul Miller and his family have more than $1,600 tied up in Delta tickets because they did not fly to a festival canceled in March. In fact, Miller almost wasn't even able to cancel the flight. He says he could not get through to customer service and got one phone call back at 4 a.m. over a period of 2 weeks.
So I actually went down to the Salt Lake City airport and talked with a ticketing agent, and she was able to cancel our flights.
Miller pointed out that he had no problem getting cash refunds for his rental car and hotel that he booked for the same trip. Checking in now with Storm Team 6 meteorologist Kyle Mounts with our forecast. Hey, Kyle.
And Amanda, for the last week and a half, our temperatures have been running well below average. We are about this close to turning the tide, though. And even tonight, it's not too bad out there. We're still in the middle 50s with mostly cloudy skies and that southeast breeze around 10 miles per hour. Even Lafayette still reporting 60 degrees on the thermometer. It's 54 in Columbus and 56 right now in the Tipton area. Satellite and radar shows those those clouds that started to roll in pretty early in the day. They've overspread the region. You can see there are a few light rain shower returns here over southern Illinois. We may see a brief shower or two during the overnight, but most areas I think are going to stay dry. That said, if you've been watering the lawn, I think you're going to be able to put that lawn sprinkler away for a few days as we get into a more active weather pattern. So let's pick up TrueCast 6:30 tomorrow morning. There's a couple of those isolated showers for us as we go through mid-morning, working their way toward Rushville, eventually into Richmond. And the lunch hour looks like things should be fairly dry. We'll be between a couple of those bands of rain as we go into the afternoon and evening. TrueCast now keeping more of that track to the north, but we could see a few of those storms sneak through areas around I-70. As we get to 9 o'clock tomorrow night, you can see some more of those thunderstorms over the northern portion of the state. And if they just kind of hold there and train over the same areas, we could be talking about potentially some flooding issues, but I think we will see some more rain across the rest of central Indiana. There you see where we've got the slight risk of severe weather just north of Indianapolis tomorrow, but Indian areas to the south in that marginal risk, primarily for some gusty winds, potentially some hail in a couple of those storms as well. And there's that heavy rainfall potential across the northern third of the state. The bright spot in the forecast is going to be those temperatures with many dry hours tomorrow. We will jump well through the 70s, and I think many areas will hit around 80 degrees for that afternoon high on a breezy southwest wind. 81 in Bloomington, 79 in Muncie, and 80 degrees in Indianapolis. And it's a trend that's going to hold here, at least as far as the mild temperatures, either at or above average as we go right on into the weekend, but we're also going to hold on to that chance for some showers and thunderstorms as well. 7-day planning forecast as we put it all together for you. Things are fairly active, but I think we'll have some dry time going through the weekend. Highs in the 70s there. Briefly cooler on Monday at 65, but we're drying things out, and it looks very nice going into next week with highs back in the 70s by Tuesday.
What started as 3 local roommates taking a closer look at the ingredients in their soap has turned it into a thriving business with a unique business model. And they're getting a moment in the national spotlight on this week's season finale of Shark Tank. I caught up with the founders of Bloomington-based soap company, the Mad Optimist. It all started with a need for a different kind of product.
A lot of manufactured soap out there has an ingredient called sodium tallowate, which is beef fat. And, you know, we are all Muslim and we practice like halal, and we're also like vegetarian and vegan.
That led to the realization that they could make something better than what they could find on store shelves.
So we're like, you know what, why are we putting beef fat on our bodies? Let's create a soap that doesn't have that. So we created all vegan bar.
Mohammed Zarmadi is one part of the Mad Optimist. He co-founded the unique soap brand in 2012 with his brother Mohammed Mahdi and Anthony Duncan. They make custom body care specializing in all natural products that are vegan, halal, non-GMO, gluten, and cruelty-free. Along with the completely customized and made-to-order soaps, body sprays, and lip balms, they offer customers a customized price option with a sliding price scale for all of their products.
For the customers who can pay a little bit more, offset the cost for the customers who need to pay a little bit less. So we're trying to create a community of like-minded individuals. So we base everything off of equality and kind of pushing forward the way businesses can be, changing things for the better.
They have also changed the pay structure within their workplace.
All employees make the exact same hourly wage, which will grow as the company grows. And so even the co-founders will begin getting paid the same wage as well.
It is an innovative way these guys believe they can make the world a better place.
We figured we're optimistic, and the mad portion came from the aspect of we're very much so like quality extremists, and so we go crazy over everything that we do, and so the quality, the craftsmanship, the attention to detail that we pay, we're crazy about body care. So the Mad Optimist.
And if you're wondering how the sliding scale pricing works, you simply pick the price you want to pay on the Mad Optimist website. No questions asked. You can see if the Mad Optimist lured in any sharks this Friday at 8 p.m. right here on RTV6. We'll be right back.
For just $1, only at Hardee's.
This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
We're Open Indy is highlighting restaurants that are making it through the coronavirus pandemic. And tonight we're taking you to another chocolate mousse, this time in Bloomington. Brad Brown has a look at an old favorite.
It's a taste of the past with a shiny new exterior.
It's just a good feeling when you walk in, smelling the waffle cone, and it just puts a smile on your face, and that's what we need right now. We need smiles.
The Chocolate Mousse in Bloomington has been serving up smiles since 1933, going back to its original days as the Penguin. For more than 80 years, the original stand was a hit with IU students, Bloomington locals, and people from way, way out.
I had a couple come up to the stand window, and they're like, "It's our 50th anniversary." I'm like, "Oh my God, like that's so cool, that's awesome." They're like, "Our first date was here." And then that instantly just put into perspective that it's not just a restaurant, not just an ice cream stand, it's just so much more to people in the community as a whole.
This new building opened in the old spot just a couple years ago.
I mean, it was tough when we first moved because everybody was so attached to the stand, but we kind of went with what we had to, and people still loved coming in and seeing like the sign behind me.
But the menu is much the same. Scoops of ice cream in nearly 20 different flavors, shakes, malts, sundaes, and more.
Everybody sticks to their favorites when it comes to the chocolate mousse. Everybody talks about, I'm going to get something different next time I come, but whenever they get down here, they look at the menu and they go, I'm going to stick with what I know.
Kind of our signature is the grasshopper ice cream. It's mint Oreo. All of our homemade ice cream is made with 14% butterfat right here in Bloomington. That's our staple. So if you come in, we have soft serve. It's great soft serve, but you got to get the homemade ice cream. That's what we're known for.
They added some local coffee to the list as well, but that mixes just fine with a good scoop. Let's be honest, a little ice cream can make about anything better.
The cool thing is the chocolate mousse is, it's a part of, the different generations of Bloomington. Come on down, and it feels like the same as it did back, years ago, and whenever their grandmothers and grandfathers were here, and whenever their parents were kids.
When Michael Jordan trained with the U.S. Olympic basketball team in Bloomington back in the summer of 1984, he said his favorite spot was the chocolate mousse. And former IU coach Bob Knight has been a loyal customer over the years. The General's favorite flavor, butter pecan. Let's give you an update as well on the chocolate mousse up in Farmland. The folks there say they're going to continue curbside service only until Memorial Day, but Amy and her crew have been getting great support for the chocolate mousse up there. They are open Tuesday through Saturday. Working for you, Brad Brown, RTV6.
I'm Dave First. We continue to honor the outgoing spring sport athletes with our RTV6 Senior Salutes. Meet Edgewood High School's Brant Guthrie, a third-generation golfer who's worked hard at each level to improve his game. As a result, he was all-conference a year ago, as well as academic all-conference. Really looking forward to his senior season, now shooting rounds in the mid-70s. Good luck after graduation, Brant. I'm Dave First with another RTV6 Senior Salute. Indie home experts at theindychannel.com.
And you can find everything you need to know about the COVID-19 pandemic anytime on our website at theindychannel.com/coronavirus. That includes resources for people who are unemployed and small businesses.
RTV6 is proud to be working together with the United Way of Central Indiana during this crisis. We are teaming up for the COVID-19 Community Economic Relief Fund. The initiative supports organizations that serve people and families affected by the pandemic. So far, more than $15.8 million has been distributed to 100 organizations. You can donate to the fund by texting HELP 2020 to 91999.
We've been waiting a while. Tomorrow is the day much warmer air returns. Temperatures will top out around 80 degrees. We'll have a couple rounds of thunderstorms. And of course, we'll keep you updated right here on RTV6 and the social apps as well. Amanda?
Thank you for making RTV6 your choice for news. Good Morning Indiana starts at 4:30. Good night.